Welcome back to the channel. So this is the monthly update for September. I've got an awful lot to talk about. There's some interesting stuff as well. We can see there's been some purchases behind and there's some stuff there to talk about. I've had a whole to do with decals, so we can get into that. We've got a book to talk about. So lots to get into. We can see what's been going on the channel and see what we're going to do going forward. So let's get into it. So I went to a model show. Can you tell? It's pretty obvious. Now that was Bovington model show a couple of weeks ago, so it's been a little while. I've been meaning to do this video for a couple of weeks, just haven't got around to it. Now it's interesting to have a look at some of the stuff I bought. I mean, now it's all aircraft for a start, one of which isn't mine, so we've got a rare kit there that my friend Paddy saw in a photo. Someone took a picture of me buying kits, and very keenly eyed he spotted that in the background, so I went round and got that for him. So we're hoping to exchange that at some point in the near future. We're not going to actually have a look at it, but we can look at the rest of it and just shows you what was about. So I got yet another Dornier there. As has been pointed out, I got more than the Luftwaffe ever had now. I just can't pass them up. They're always good kits to get and worth picking up when you see them. A couple of i16s here. So these were, I should have checked the prices. Cheap. They're all from Models for Sale. I think this was around £20 and I thought, well, a tenner for each two i16 Type 10s. With the older type decals, we'll get into that in a bit. A Profi pack, again, I think that was 18 quid. 1110C, terrible dog of a kit, real awful build, early Eduard, but we'll probably, if I'm going to do one, I keep thinking about the 110. I hear about a lot of it in the stuff I listen to and read, and it was an important fighter early on for Luftwaffe, obviously did very well in Russia, but I overlook it knowingly. So that's going to change with this kit, and the file, it'll just be just another one to chuck in the pile. And we got a Hella kit here, ta-da, which is part of the decal conversation. I've put that on top of something, not both bits off. So we will let's talk about the decals first. So decals. Now it doesn't matter here. This is purely academic, I think is the right word. Must say, Hella's boxings, fantastic. Oh God, he says that. So it's a top opening, lovely artwork box. You get this fantastic little keep out or come in. It's wrapped in tissue paper. None of the sprues are touching. It's an ingenious way of wrapping boxes. No damage. It's all fine. Why a block 210? Well, Spanish Civil War, basically. So to go with the Polikarpovs, long term, one day we'll build it. Just wanted one in the stash, and it was cheap. Now, something I noticed is we get two nice decal sheets. Ta-da! Lovely, lovely, lovely. Very good, very good, very good. But I looked at them and I thought, they look like something. They look like something else I've seen. Very reminiscent of the new Eduard decals. And they are. Because I also was building that ICM Henschel 123 kit. And the decals in that looked suspect. So I contacted ICM. They're printed by Eduard. These are printed by Eduard. So that's ICM, Hella. Someone else had Eduard. Oh, Special Hobby. So I'm not a fan of those decals. I'm not going to get on a high horse saying they're this, they're that, they're everything else. For me, how I like to use them, to use decals and do my decaling that I'm comfortable with and get nice results, They're not for me. They don't work. They are in the same ballpark, but for opposite reasons as Tamiya. Now, it's widely accepted. Tamiya make great kits, but you need aftermarket decals. Eduard have fallen into that trap for me as well. So that's fine. Where I was going wrong is thinking that wasn't the case, trying to make them work. Now, if I built a number of Tamiya aircraft specifically and tried to make those decals work, I'd be in the same boat. So, what's that definition of insanity and all that? Doing the same thing and expecting different results. So, that's a shame for me. If you're in the same boat, just so you know, ICM, some ICM, so check, Hella, Special Hobby, and obviously Eduard post 2020 are all these new type of decals. If you don't get on with them, it's nothing to do with taking the film off. It's not that at all. I understand that. For me, I don't like the saturation of the colours. There you go. And plenty of people can tell me that they give a nice faded look, and that's great, but that's not what I want. So I can do that. Now, I pushed on. Now, where does this come to? So, hang on. Topple. There we are. We've got a Spitfire. Battle of Britain build. That me and Tim and Paddy, we're all just sort of doing it. I think it's an every year thing. And 1110C, for instance, well, that's next year sorted. I think it's a very good thing to do. I don't need much encouragement to build an aircraft for the Battle of Britain. This is Sailor Milan's. Now, I have used top-notch masks that were sent to me so long ago. I've only just used them. So there you go. We've used them. So we filmed it. We used them. That's good. Long story short, if you haven't got a way of printing them, they're great. If you have got a way of cutting your own masks. If you have got a way of cutting your own mask, you're not going to be buying top-notch masks. If you haven't, then they're, fine. Top-notch, are they? Well, let's wait till the video. So, I've sprayed on the roundels, which I'm quite happy with, using MRP. Sprayed on the markings, which I sprayed in Sky. And then spent a week repairing that so that I could spray them in medium sea grey, which I was told correctly. I do like the RAF. I am an RAF boy. I do like Spitfires. I know about a lot of the intricacies. However, I am liable to make mistakes, and that was a mistake. Now, I don't think we can see. This camera doesn't adjust when I'm on it. Maybe you can see. You can see there we've used the stencils. They're the Eduard stencils. They're on. And I've peeled off the film. And they're okay. And some have not gone. I don't think you can see. If it focus, if I get my head out the way, you might see there on the machine gun ammunition. You can just see a bit of the text isn't quite complete. That's fine. But really, I don't want to. I want to choose that, and I didn't choose it. It happened. Do you see what I mean? And now, if that then happens with a roundel, and it happens with codes, and it's over raised rivets, you can see where I'm going. So, it becomes a problem. So, what I want is, and it's always been the case in my modelling, is I nearly said consistency of outcomes. Not quite that rigid. When something works, I'm happy and I don't change. Paint. You see very often people go, oh, I used Hitaka Orange Line. Oh, I got these Vallejo paints and it peeled off. I got the... Not for me. Tamiya, XF and LP, MRP, Mr. Colour. Anything else, get out. You're not welcome. Not trying you. Not interested. Not trying it. Because I don't want to mess about. That's just the way I like to model. I'm not interested in making acrylic work for me. I'm not interested in new lacquer paints. I like the lacquer paints I got. So, with the decal situation, I've got a lot of Spitfires. Really, this is kicked on by having a lot of Spitfires. I've bought some dual combo Spitfires. I've got That Mark 1 cleared me out of Eduard Spitfires. I thought, oh, that's good. I've finally finished that. That's 5 years in the making. And then it's not even finished, and I've bought 4 more. 3 5Bs and a 5C. So there you go. So these are my stencils that I've gone for. Tech Mod. I know where I am with Tech Mod. Not perfect, not cartograph, not poor, nothing like the problems of Tamiya and all the rest of it. And got enough for 6 Spitfires, funny enough. So I've got room for 2 more. And these, I'm reliably informed, cover the stencils all the way up to a Mark 14. I guess you can do that. That seems... I thought there might have been a few more changes, but as you can see. Now, saturation. Look at that. You're not looking at that yellow and thinking, oh, it's a bit wishy-washy. It's yellow. The reds are red. The blues are blues. Well, you know, they're different tones or shades that they're meant to be. And the black's black. It's not like charcoal, and it's not... That's the trouble with Eduard. It's like a charcoal, or it's not black. Tamiya, saturation spot on. Decals, like putting down, I don't know, they're very thick. It's like sticking plasticard on. So now, and the carrier film, can you see? A little bit lumpy, but it goes down fine. If you do your gloss, put them on, gloss over, a little bit of a buff back, matte down, they'll be gone. So that's me for stencils. I'm not one for, it has to have every single piece of stencil data on, but I like to put a bit on. And I've got loads of sets that come with the Eduard Spitfires, and you know, one set went on, it was like trying to stick Rizzler paper down. It was just nuts. It was just like a curve, and it just goes, and it's like, and you move it, and it goes like that, and you move it, and it goes like that, and it just lifts off, and there's no stickiness at all. It doesn't know what. Anyway, good luck to them. I'm not dissing their decals. Some people love them. I've seen many builds using the decals, and they sort of almost take a pride in the fact that I use the decals and there was no problem. That's great. These decals in all these kits, I don't know what happened in between, but something did. So there we go. Let's talk about the book. So yes, Spitfire. So the Mark 1's complete. It just needs a bit of weathering. I'm not gonna, this is a session, maybe 2. When I decide to get onto it, I've got 3 aircraft to. I'm gonna leave that there. RAF has landed. Got an Airfix Tempest. I didn't realise. I thought a Tempest was a Typhoon. It's not. It's lovely. It's a beautiful aircraft. Absolutely. Look at that. It's just a stunning aircraft. Now, Airfix, best decals I've used. I cocked these right. I've got silvering all over this because I cut a corner. It isn't that I didn't put a gloss coat on. I just didn't. I didn't check I painted it and I got straight on and decaled it. I didn't check the finish. I didn't sand it, buff it, smooth it, and I've got silvering in some areas that I'm not happy with, and I've tried and tried and tried to fix it. It's not going. So I'm just going to plow on regardless, and that's what these kits are about. This is a I don't know, £8 kit. Lovely. And we've got a post-war Tiffy. Same decal, same process, but I gloss coated this and prepped the paintwork, and they've gone on beautifully, and there's not a touch of silvering anywhere. Lovely. This is a Wareham aircraft, 1945, post-war roundels, obviously, very nice. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Rockets, very good. Again, yeah, a wash, bit of oils, bit of staining, nothing. No problem there, easy. So those 2 are done. They're going to be filmed, photographing as we go. So that's something that we're going to release later on when I've actually done it. But what I'm hoping to do now on is take photographs all the way through the build, release the video, and then up on Patreon do articles. That's my plan. We'll see. There's a long way in the road, and I'm not going to do any of that until, you know, sort of 5 or 10 done. So that's the plan. And I think that's a nice thing to give back now to Patreon. So if you're on there already, there's things coming. So just stay there, and thanks for the support. As always, I'm hugely appreciative of that, and I am trying to give something back without, causing issues to the channel and overloading the work that I'm doing as well. So nice happy medium. Things are rolling on nicely. Lots of aircraft being built at the minute. Lots of aircraft in my mind. I am at a place where I like aircraft at the minute, and that's what I'm enjoying building. That's what I'm building. If you're into armour, that doesn't affect you, because the videos that are coming are already armour or vehicle based. And then I've got things I'm going to build. So we've got KV2. That's definitely being done. Sort of by Christmas, which will mean you'll see videos like January on. I've got the Dragon, it's not a Rebox because it is Dragon, for T-34-76 1940, which is the one with the, stop knocking the microphone, which is the one with the funny gun that it had before they changed the gun. And I'm going to build that as well. They're simple, really. These are going to be out of the box, not a lot of messing about, just a bit of weathering all the way through. I'm just not there in my modelling at the minute, but we've got October, November, December, long dark winter months when the rain will finally arrive. So don't worry about that either. So it's going to be a nice mix, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build everything back up, get loads of videos ahead of me, so that you've got at least one build video a month all the way through 2026. And I'm halfway there, I'm happy to say. And I haven't even really started. I'm having more time off through work through October, November, December and January. And that's where I've booked in my mind. I'm going to actually, treat it all. It's not like work, but, I'm going to come in here dedicated to, 1 day or 2 days a week to actually give some time back to the hobby and also the channel. So there's going to be lots coming. I do this every winter, but I'm really excited about it, really focused, very settled. I had no idea how unsettled I was until I got here, and I'm settled. It's unbelievable. So if any of you have been through following on when I've obviously been sort of up and down and, I want to do this, I can't do anything, I just needed to move. So there we are, So all is good. I've got a whole big pile of work in progress. So these are old stored projects, and I'm just going to do a little bit here and there when I feel like it through. I'm enjoying sort of flitting around a bit, which a lot of people can struggle with. For me, that's brilliant. It's change. It's do a bit of this, and then just as you start to think, slightly had enough, you almost get another hour out of yourself doing a bit to another project that you like. Filming everything, the iMac, the iPhone, it's just unbelievable how I can just bang, 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 bang. I've got 2 terabyte SSD card for those of you who are interested, and you just fill that up. That's fine. We just keep stacking that up, no problem. I'm gonna have like 20 build videos on the go at the same time, which is not my intention, but I could. So we're all good there. Now, I said we're going to talk about the book. So the Spitfire has made me, just as I've got time to read. It's just unbelievable. Now, I hope if any of you are in situations where you haven't got time, I hope that you get to a point when you do, because I didn't realise, maybe 5 years I've been sort of like that, and I've only just now settled down to a point where I can sort of enjoy myself. That sounds so dramatic. It's not like I've never had any joy in my life. It's just things were very busy and unsettled. Where we lived was right in the centre of a town, in a small flat up of 4 flights of stairs. There was no chance to really, once you're in there it's fine, but there's a lot of bad points to it. Now it's, well, I've got a house and a garden, it's just unbelievable. Anyway, so because I've had time to settle down and read, I've been buying books, so cracked through this one. Now, I'm not an avid reader, and I'm not very good at reading. It doesn't come naturally to me. It's a real slog. Everything's difficult about it. But I can do it. And I look at this, and I sort of 148 pages, and I thought, I could do that. That's my sort of thing. 300 pages. I tend to, if I can get the 200, I'm going to finish it, but I tend to wobble around the 100. And stuff I'm reading is generally quite It's not exciting. I'm reading a book at the minute about the story of Russia, and I'm getting bogged down now, as I always do, around the page 70, because it's just like relentless historical talk, which is what I like, but it's hard work as well. Maybe I should read, what's his name? Robinson Crusoe. There you go. See, and then I'll torment myself that I'm wasting time and not learning anything. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? This is Brian Lane. His experiences of Battle of Britain. 148 pages, includes like 40 pictures. So I was on page 68, and then you get to the photos, and I thought, all right, let's jump over them, come back to them, and it doesn't go 69, it goes 103. So this book was about 100 pages. So no wonder I read it. Anyway, most people would complain about that, but that's a good thing from my point of view. Now, I should have bookmarked this, so I'll pause it until I find it. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to read you a little bit, so bear with me. But this is through the Battle of Britain. So this is 24th of August 1940. I think this sums it up. I think it's really, really good. Yeah, so he's run out of ammunition, basically, after messing about with 110s and 109s. And he says, no, there's nothing more to do but go back to the aerodrome. Then, as I turned north, a solitary 110 flew slowly past, half a mile away. Diving down a little, I turned in under his tail and closed in behind him. Where he had suddenly appeared from, I couldn't think, but the reason he was limping home so slowly was obvious now. His starboard engine was out of action, and I could plainly see the three blades of the stationary air screws standing mutely out from the bulge of the engine. Throttling back, and somehow feeling a bit of a cad, I took very careful aim, checked the range, and pressed the firing button. Nothing happened. I pressed it again. No, I was out of ammunition. Sitting there just behind him, I swore softly to myself. The German pilot was obviously quite oblivious to my presence. What a shock he would have got if I had only had some ammunition. Sliding out to one side, I pulled up over the top of the enemy aircraft in a barrel roll, looking down through the roof of the cockpit as the aircraft became inverted. I laughed as I caught a glimpse of a pink blur in the front cockpit as the pilot looked up and saw me. He must have had the fright of his life. Slipping down the other side of him, I rolled out right way up, looking hard at the rear cockpit. The sliding cover was closed. If there was a gunner on board, he must be dead. I noticed the pilot had opened up his one good engine wide, and a thin trail of black smoke was streaming back from the exhaust. I think he must have thought I was playing cat and mouse with him, and I suddenly felt sorry for him. I could visualize his feelings as he strove to get away in his crippled aircraft, expecting at any moment to hear the clatter of bullets striking the fuselage and wings, and waiting to feel one plough through his body. I climbed and turned across his nose, rocking my wings as I straightened up and flew away from him. He would get home all right as long as he didn't over-rev that engine. Good luck to him anyway. And all the way back I pondered on my feelings. Why should I have felt sorry for the German pilot? War is war, and no quarter is expected or given, and yet, once the heat of the moment was over, I felt almost glad that I had been forced to give him the quarter. How contrary is human nature! Tomorrow, perhaps, he would be on another raid in another machine, and might shoot down one of our chaps, perhaps one of my flight, perhaps he might come upon me gliding home with a dud engine, and finish me off. I wondered if he would feel the same way I did, or whether the Nazi doctrine had killed all his decent feelings. Somehow I hoped it hadn't. Paradoxically, in a flight, I always hoped the other chap was a decent sort of guy. It was so clean up there in the blue, the thrill of flying and the bigger thrill of fighting. And yet if I had had some ammunition left, I couldn't have missed him, and I would have shot him down. Cold meat. And I would have done it, not because I hated that German personally. I didn't know who he was, but because I wanted to and got a kick out of it. But if we had not been at war, would I delight in killing? No. Sanity would prevail, and we should all become once more normal people. Yet that German pilot was fighting for the filthy regime which had caused the war. He probably believed in it and admired its teachings. Damn the stupid fool for being taken in by the lies and corruption which had poured into his ears. God, if only I'd had some ammunition. I think that says a lot, certainly in this climate, that at war, torn between the doing the right thing of killing the person, but also that person's still a person. Recognising the person, I think, is an important lesson that sometimes fades. That no matter what side you're on, we're all the same people, aren't we? And that's even when you're at war against the bad guys that are Nazis. So there we go. Now, very good book. However, I did come away from it thinking that he didn't seem to do a lot. No sooner was he in the sky that something didn't work. His guns didn't work, or the springs went, or he had no power to the guns, so the bullets just went like that. But certainly he wrote it all down, and it's very interesting. And what's happened in this book is Dilip Sarkar has gone through and filled in all the blanks. So I think when it was written, he used different names for different people, and then Dilip has gone through and filled in all of that. So it gives it a lot more context and reads a lot clearer. So you've got the actual people. And if he doesn't know, it says identity unknown. Very good. Come away from it very clean. Something about that. Something about this in all, really, is building the RAF stuff. A lot of that sort of thing. It's really kind of mellowed the tone, if you know what I mean. I don't know what that means. I build a lot of German stuff, and it's nice to dip back into the RAF guys. The planes, the subject matter, the pilots, everything about it is very clean feeling, and it's just a nice feeling. I enjoy it. Needless to say, I'm very ready to dive into a Yabo blacked out night fighting FW-190 who drops solitary bombs on churches and things like that. But nevertheless, building a Tempest, a Typhoon and a Spitfire certainly cleans you up with that sort of thing. There we are. I don't know where I was going there. So what I'd like to know from you is, do I just go and stick all these up in the loft, or do you want to have a look through them? We can do that on another video. We could look for all of them in a video, or we could do separate videos, kind of reviews, kind of just what I'm hoping for, what I like about them. The orange Profi packs are the older decals. That's why I'm after them. If anyone's got stacks of them and looking for a home, emails down below. I'm after all of them. Any of the Eduard kits up to 2019, I'm really up for. I've started bringing my stash back, so I've had a little bit of stash at the nursery, which some of these kits are too good for that, so they're back. What I'm committing myself to, I've got a lot of kits I've had for a long time that are too good to be built, or I need to be ready, whatever, or they're just too involved. Well, enough of that. We're going to start one a year. So we're going to do one of the big kits a year. So I've got 32nd Tamiya Spitfire Mark 8 under there with everything in it ready to go. Just got to pick the scheme and do the masks for it, which I can do. So one of them is going to be done at some point. And a resin kit. I'm just going to keep having a resin kit on the go. This is a Martenside Buzzard. Imagine if I dropped this, just didn't say anything, and in November you get, here's a full build video of a Martenside Buzzard in the Spanish Civil War. I mean, you can see why I haven't started it. It's somewhat daunting. Somewhat daunting. Look how thin that resin is. But we're perfectly capable of building this. It's just something that looks difficult. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. It probably is difficult. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. It's not going to be like sticking together a 1/72 starter kit. But at the same time, I can't even get the fuselage together. But yeah, so there we are. Butt joins on the wings and everything. Lovely. But it's time to get these things done, because I spent a lot of money on these kits. I have them. I'm here. I got the interest. You guys will like to see it. Let's do it. This Letov is lovely. I remember buying this at Telford in 2019. Got the receipt in there. I say it's lovely. I mean, it's a lovely thing. I just want to see that. I just want to see a build, dropping a build video. Nice bit of production, nice finish, a good quality video. And I've gone and stuck together a Letov. I've got to look it up. 231. Look at that. Unbelievable. So, I'm in a good place. Things are floating about nicely. There we are. There's the boy. Look. One of those odd things. Ended up over there doing its thing. So yeah, good fun. I've just been enjoying cataloguing and going through what I got and opening boxes and starting bits here and putting bits back. First World War subjects as well. Again, across a year, which is what I'm talking about. It's across a year. I'd like to get some of these done. So that's my plan. Once a year, have a resin kit done. If 2 are done, then that's fine. But 1 done. A 30-second aircraft, done. A nice big piece of armour, done. I've got the time, I've got the space, I've got the everything. I was nearly said I've got the energy. Not quite. I do still have a very young daughter. But there we are. I'm waffling on now. And I think that's it. So, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below regarding these kits, and if you want to have a look at them. I mean, we've all seen the 190, but the old tangerine, the oranges on that i16 box, what's different about the FIFO? I can't open that, that's not mine. The 110, just let me know. We can do it. So as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.